For over 6 centuries, one empire ruled 3 continents, controlled the world's most important trade routes, defeated mighty kingdoms, and shaped history in ways still felt today. From the deserts of Arabia to the gates of Vienna, from North Africa to the heart of Europe, the Ottoman Empire was a force unlike any other. This is the rise, glory, and fall of the Ottoman Empire, a story of sultans and soldiers, palaces and revolutions, triumphs, betrayals, and the end of an age. Our story begins in the late 1200s. The mighty Seljuk Empire had collapsed, leaving Anatolia divided into many small Turkish principalities called beyliks. Among them was a small frontier tribe led by a warrior named Osman. No one knew that this humble leader would give birth to a dynasty that would rule for centuries. Osman's followers were fierce fighters, ghazis, warriors of the frontier. Their raids against the weakening Byzantine Empire helped them expand rapidly. By 1299, Osman established a new state. It would later be called the Ottoman Empire. Osman's son Orhan captured key Byzantine towns, including Bursa, which became the first Ottoman capital. This marked a turning point. The Ottomans were no longer just nomadic warriors, they were builders of a state. They developed a powerful military system, including the creation of the Janissaries, elite infantry soldiers taken as children and trained to be loyal only to the Sultan. The Ottoman machine was beginning to form. Under Sultan Murad I, the Ottomans crossed into Europe for the first time, capturing key cities in the Balkans. They won the famous Battle of Kosovo, 1389, securing dominance over southeastern Europe. The Ottoman state was now a growing empire, one foot in Asia, the other in Europe. But a storm was coming. In 1402, the empire faced disaster. The legendary conqueror Tamerlane defeated the Ottomans at the Battle of Ankara. Sultan Bayezid was captured. The empire split into civil war. For a moment, it seemed the Ottoman story might end. But from the chaos rose a new leader, Mehmed I, who reunited the empire and restored its strength. The Ottomans were back, and stronger than ever. In 1451, a young sultan came to the throne. Mehmed II, just 19 years old. But he had a dream no Ottoman before him had achieved: to conquer Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire. In 1453, he launched one of the most famous sieges in history. Cannons thundered. Walls crumbled. After 53 days, the ancient city fell. Constantinople became Istanbul, the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. This moment transformed the Ottomans from a regional power into a global empire. In the early 1500s, Selim I, known as Selim the Grim, expanded the empire dramatically. He defeated the Safavids of Persia and conquered the entire Middle East, including Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem. The Ottoman sultans became caliphs, leaders of the Muslim world. The empire stretched across 3 continents, from Arabia to Egypt, from Greece to Kurdistan. But the Ottomans were not done growing. Under Suleiman the Magnificent, the empire reached its peak. He ruled from 1520 to 1566. One of the longest reigns in history. Suleiman conquered Hungary, besieged Vienna, dominated the Mediterranean, and reformed the legal system. His empire was home to millions of people of different cultures: Turks, Arabs, Greeks, Armenians, Kurds, Jews, Slavs, all under Ottoman administration. Art, architecture, poetry, and science flourished. The great architect Mimar Sinan built masterpieces, including the Suleimani Mosque. This was the Ottoman Golden Age, a time of unmatched power and culture. After Suleiman's death, corruption and palace politics weakened the empire. Sultans became less experienced. The Janissaries grew too powerful. European powers, especially Spain, Austria, and later Russia, became stronger. The empire began to lose territories. Yet it survived, sometimes barely, for centuries. By the 1700s, the Ottomans faced continuous defeats. Russia pushed them back. Nationalist movements rose in Greece, the Balkans, and Arabia. Reformers tried to modernize the empire. New army. New laws. New educational systems. New industries. But corruption and foreign interference slowed progress. European powers called the empire the sick man of Europe. When World War I began, the Ottomans joined the Central Powers. They fought bravely at Gallipoli, where the famous Ottoman commander Mustafa Kemal stopped the Allied invasion. But the empire was too weak. By 1918, it collapsed. British and French forces took control of its territories. Arab regions became new states. Anatolia was occupied. The empire that lasted over 600 years was gone. From the ruins of the empire, Mustafa Kemal, now known as Ataturk, led a war of independence. In 1923, he founded the Republic of Turkey. The Ottoman Sultanate was abolished. A new chapter began. But the legacy of the Ottomans lives on, in architecture, language, food, culture, and history across 3 continents. From a small Anatolian tribe to the rulers of an empire. From heroic conquests to dramatic collapse. The Ottoman story is one of the greatest sagas in human history. An empire that shaped the world, and whose influence can still be felt today.